Hi, I'm Dashi,
And I'm Kelvin.
and this is our submission for the Rajarani Couple of the Year sweepstakes. So, we want to share with you our love story and hope that you can feel our love. Our paths were always parallel. We were born in the same hospital in Fiji, lived in the same city, and we both came to the US around the same time. I've always lived in West Sacramento, and Kelvin would constantly come to the West Side Gurdwara, which was literally right down the street from where I lived.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. However, that's not how we met.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the typical Bollywood movie. We met through a mutual friend and slowly started on talking on Facebook and kind of started liking each other.
Yeah. So in the past, we were both, in some pretty bad relationships. We both had not found the that special someone that we were on the same page that had similar goals aligned. I was really ready to give up, and then I finally met her. She really truly showed me how to love someone, what real love is. And when we first met, within the first 10 seconds I was able to tell that I felt like I knew this person my whole life.
10 seconds is pretty quick, Dave.
Yeah, well, I can't help the way I feel.
Okay, I'm flattered. Um, well, our first conversations were pretty heavy. They consisted of questions such as, am I going to be living with my in laws?
We both knew we wanted to what we wanted in our lives, and luckily our goals were very similar. Dashi's going to be a future optometrist, and I wanted to obtain my master's in business management.
The thing that really charmed me about Kelvin was that he readily stated that when I move away from optometry school, he would come with me and put his master's on hold until I got done with school. Um, 2 months into the relationship, I felt really ready to tell my dad about Kelvin. This was a pretty big deal since I had never introduced any guy to my parents. My friends and everyone else told me to wait since the relationship was so fresh. But somehow I kind of knew that I wanted to share my family with him and vice versa. It was practically the best decision of my life.
I was actually pretty um, scared myself. I didn't know how her family was going to react, especially meeting her father. But when she first told me that she wanted me to meet her dad and tell him about everything, I was very nervous, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be too soon or not. But now that I look back on it, I can see that it was clearly the right choice. Her family embraced me with open arms right away, and I felt like I was at home. And I can't recall a single moment when I was actually happier than I've ever been. Our relationship has always been strong, and the support that we give one another is something that can never be matched. She's very patient. Trust me, someone in a relationship with me has to have a lot of patience. I lived far away in a different city, and I would see her only on the weekends. I was working on my bachelor's at that time, and she had to put up with that, and I'm so thankful. She went through some tough times in her life late last year and through early this year, and I was glad that I was able to get to know her family and had the opportunity to support her the way she wanted, and when she needed me.
So my dad passed away recently in April from lung cancer, 2 years into mine and Kelvin's relationship. I'm very thankful that we made the decision to tell my dad about Kelvin, as Kelvin and my dad had the opportunity to bond. My dad loved Kelvin and treated him like his own son. He knew that he was leaving me in the right hands and that his worries were over. He was constantly asking us when we were getting married and when he could meet Kelvin's parents and get the ball rolling. Um, he was waiting patiently, and we told him that as soon as we were ready and when my school was finished, we would let him know, and he could plan everything. Um, there were really two very special moments in my life that, well, ever since I met Kelvin, that validated my feelings for him and that I wanted to marry him. Um, the first incident, I'll tell you that I'm always late to work and school, always. And my dad would always wake up in the morning, warm up my car, and wait outside with coffee to go for me. When my dad got sick one morning, Calvin was waiting outside with my car warmed up and my coffee to go. I cried on my way to work that day for two reasons. One, that I was losing the first man that I ever loved, and two, that I found the last man that I'll ever love. Um, the second validation for me was that this year on Father's Day, so soon after my dad passed, because he passed in April, and Father's Day was right after that. So I was very emotional on that day. Kelvin organized a picnic for just the two of us at the river where my dad's ashes were put to rest. He's definitely the man that I love and that I want to love endlessly. I think you can actually, if you look back to the slideshow that we did initially, the beginning of the video, there's a picture of that picnic that he had set up.
So the way I feel about Dashi is something that I can't express very easily. She really shows me how much she cares about me through many little things here and there. One of the things I notice the most is when I come home from a long day's work, and she'll be waiting for me, waiting to have dinner with me, and she gets very, very anxious, always texting me, when am I going to come, when are you coming home, are you on your way? And I always tell her, yes, I'm coming home, we'll be there in just a few more minutes. She gets really excited, and that to me validates that she can't live without me, and I always get excited to see her. um, you know a lot of couples say that that kind of passion kind of dies out slowly, but I think it's increasing for us the more and more we see each other. So we would like to win this competition, firstly because we want to celebrate um, and share our love with our close family and friends.
Another major reason for me personally is that I know that an Indian wedding can take its toll financially on the couple's family. I would really like to lessen this burden on my mom. My parents had been waiting for this day their entire lives, and they wanted to celebrate it full of pomp and ceremony. After my dad passed, I want to help my mom to give her daughter and her new son the wedding that my parents always wanted for us.
A third reason for us is wanting to win this competition is that we're aware that an Indian wedding also takes a huge financial toll on the couples themselves. We wanted to start our journey on the right foot, debt free if we can. This is why we need your help.
We would like to thank Viva for this wonderful opportunity and for giving us a project in which we could have fun. We argued a little bit here and there too, and we got to relive the beautiful moments in our relationship and how we fell in love.
The bottom line is that we both love each other very much, and it would mean so much if we can, if you could help us start our lives together on the right foot.
Thank you.
Thank you.